Yay Networks.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Spill the Beans podcast.
Happy Thursday and Friday, wherever you're listening to. We hope that you guys had an amazing week and that you're ending it with a bang with this podcast on your way to work or school, or happy summer, because by this time in our state, people are out for summer.
Out for school?
Yeah, they're out of school.
Yeah, that's crazy. Blanca's little sister on Thursday has her 8th grade continuation. And then we officially, and then also, well, my brothers as well. I said your sister because they went shopping yesterday for her dress and stuff. Boys are more simple. But anyways, then we officially don't have any more. Wait, no, I do have another little sibling in middle school, Isaac. I was going to say we don't have any more siblings in middle school.
It's because Isaac acts wise beyond his years. Yeah. He doesn't seem like a...
But anyways, guys, we're going to start off this podcast with a banger right away. I'm not going to tease you to the end, or I'm not going to have a lot of you guys guessing I wonder why these people put this random emoji, you know? So $100 giveaway right away. All you have to do is whatever you were going to comment, regardless, just put
this, it's summer.
Okay, put a snowman.
Yeah.
To throw people off, because they're if you've seen if you've seen Frozen, you know Olaf has that summer song. So put the snowman emoji at the end of whatever you were going to comment. And also, you got to make sure you follow Spill the Beans Instagram and Spill the Beans TikTok. We're going to post those right here. We're going to check, okay? So if you're not following them, and I'm sorry, a lot of you guys don't have Instagram, but... make one and just follow those two accounts, okay? Don't even follow Blanca and Jonathan, just those two. Anyways, babe, you know what I was thinking?
What were you thinking,
we made
honey?
Franco an Instagram, and even though it's inactive, Belen never got one.
I know. I regret making Franco an Instagram because I just I can't even keep up with my own Instagram, girl. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. So I literally posted up till his 3rd month and I never continued. Yeah. So Miss Belen is just... what makes me sad is that people say, it's because the second kid gets the short end of the stick, kind of, but it's it's because we're so confident that you don't need as much, you don't do as much, you don't stress out or overthink or get as anxious, but it's that's why the second kid doesn't get as much as the first one, right? But I feel she gets a calmer version of us.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Do you think that's why she's calmer? Because she's getting a calmer version of her mom and calmer milk. I don't know, guys, but yeah, she doesn't have an Instagram, but at least I put some photo dumps on the gram.
And also, guys, today's podcast will consist of actually Belen hijacked the Spill the Beans Instagram and went and posted a Q&A that she wanted to answer with us. And we actually had a topic for today's podcast, which you'll see later on throughout the podcast.
Well, you know by the title of the podcast.
That is very true, babe. That joke. Anyways, so you already know, but it's cool that when we posted the Q&A, that's actually one of the questions, so it actually worked out perfectly. But we're going to knock out some questions here at the beginning, and then we're going to end with a banger. Before we get into
the juice. But also, guys, Franco didn't get to be on the podcast. He was in a 3rd podcast co-host.
But he was in some.
He was not,
when he was very little. I remember because I was super chubby, babe. When I had him.
When you had him?
When I had him, I was holding him.
Oh, I didn't remember.
He was in one, and then, he was in our special Halloween episodes.
Oh,
remember?
yeah.
Just at the beginning. But never anything too long, you know?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to hop right in with the bangers that you guys asked Belen.
The bangers,
I'll put the
Belen.
screenshot here so you can see what I'm talking about, because you guys are what, Belen? Here's a picture. Anyways, let's start off with, babe. This time I'm going to ask you because I feel like the last 3 Q&As or just advice, you kind of read them. Or no, you have me answer them first. So let's go with, I'll start at the very bottom. How do you feel about the age gap? Just decided to get on birth control and my son is 2 at the moment.
I feel like the age gap is good, actually. I think that if we would have waited any we didn't quite plan her, but if she would have came any later, it would have been harder because Franco just now, he's 2 years and 5 months old, so he's starting to get into his more expressive era, and she came right when he was 2 months and 2 years old, 2 years and 1 month old. So he was still like very calm, very mellow, hadn't hit like the toddler stage quite yet, like the crazy toddler stage. So he was very mellow when she got home. And right now he's starting to get crazier. So I think that we hit the age gap right in the sweet spot, because I do follow someone that had a baby 2 weeks before Berlin, and her son is about to be 3 like in 2 months, and he was not happy. Like he vocally expressed, I want to go to a new home where it's just you, daddy, and me without the baby, you know. And she said she literally she didn't fall into depression, but she was very sad for like the first month of her life. So yeah, I think we hit the spot. Like God's timing is perfect. We could not have asked for a better age gap.
I feel like you either have to go super young like we did with Franco, or you have to go old enough to where like kind of like Ozo and Chai, they don't mind them. Yeah, like a 5-year-old. Yeah. They're like, oh, I have my room.
When it's their baby too,
I have my toys, probably video games. Like I don't care, you know?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think we hit the spot. Thank God.
Yeah. But anyways, guys, if you hear me sipping, I'm officially a Stanley boy. Sorry to get off topic. It's my ADHD, but I just want to let you guys know that I've been drinking water so much more now.
Yeah.
Just because I got a freaking Stanley. And I hate it because I don't know why. I was kind of self-therapying myself the other day. I hate like trends that support like big companies, you know? So when a lot of people like this is going to sound messed up, babe, but like, for example, for the longest time, I didn't listen to Peso Pluma when he started popping off, because I was like, everyone's doing it, blah, blah, blah. But then when I saw that he's actually like a really nice guy, and you know, he helps a lot of people, I fuck with him now. Same thing with Stanley. Everyone was getting Stanleys, and I was like, I'm not going to be that guy, you know, or I'm not going to support this billionaire company that I'd rather support another cup company like the ones you guys send us and stuff like that. But then you experience it for the first time, the ice, how it actually does stay in there for a very long time. And it just like, it makes the water taste better. And I've never drank more water in my life, guys. Does
Ever.
¿Sí se nota en mi piel o no?
Se nota en tu voz, like the way you're talking, because I can usually hear that you have a really dry mouth.
Damn.
And I tell you this all the time.
Yeah, guys, but with everything, I think that's why I wear Sauconys, like the running shoe brand, because it's not very popular. Instead of going with like Hoka or Nike, Garmin, you know, it's not a watch brand that a lot of people know. Instead of like that, I don't know. I just feel like guilty. It's like weird guilt supporting
like companies that don't even need it anymore.
Don't need it, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, babe, sometimes you have to like
a Stanley boy and I'm a Hydro girl, you know?
Yeah.
So you're still a little unique.
But if you're debating getting the Stanley, guys, I think they're worth it. They're very sturdy, and I'm going to stop talking about it. This ain't no Stanley ad. But
and we got my mom on it too, and girl, she be jugging around her little Stanley everywhere. Nomás oyen los hielos. Literally everywhere in the house, you could just hear ice
It's
and water.
It's because sirven, you know? Like,
yeah,
you know what doesn't work, though? Here, I'll bash on this. I wouldn't get a Dyson again, babe.
Me neither,
Hell
honestly.
no.
Dysons are overrated.
That shit worked for like a good 2 weeks. I see like brand new feeling. And then now it's just like really $700 for a vacuum. Get the ones on the TikTok shops, guys. Get the ones at Walmart.
Real.
Get the Shark, which is like half the price. Because Dyson was not worth it for me.
No, it wasn't. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Guys, I actually just recently went back to therapy because my mom guilt was getting too big for me to handle, so I decided it was time for me to get help. We all have things that stress us out, big and small, and they can start to affect us negatively if we keep them bottled up.
Therapy is there to be a safe space to unbottle that negativity and start working through things that are weighing you down.
I love therapy because I knew as soon as I needed help, there was someone I could go to that didn't have to involve my family so that I wouldn't stress them or scare them.
I love therapy because even though I am my wife's husband, it's nice to have someone else kind of chime in and help from time to time.
If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule.
Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Get it off your chest with BetterHelp.
Visit BetterHelp.com/spillthebeans today to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/spillthebeans. Weight loss journey for Blanca, prep marathon. How's life as a parent of 2? That was a loaded question.
Don't get me started, girl. I am a Garmin girly now, guys. I just uploaded my video. I actually just unboxed my new Garmin yesterday. It's a Garmin watch. It's like...
That's actually another question, babe. Here, I'll read it. That way you can knock them out. Can you talk about your Garmin running watches, please? Is a Garmin watch better than Apple Watch?
Okay, to be honest, I just hopped on the trend because Jonathan influenced me. Like, he was telling me all these good things about the watch. And I was like, okay, babe, like, I'm going to look into it. And then I go on TikTok and I find a Garmin watch with a touch screen, and it's so beautiful and aesthetic. And I showed Jonathan. He's like, babe, that's just like aesthetic. It's not really a runner's watch. And I'm like, well, I can still run with it, and it's not like I'm not prepping for an Ironman, you know. Jonathan's over here. He has like the Forerunner, like literally running watch, and I have kind of like the aesthetic
Cutesy
version of it. So it's still gonna give me my sleep score. It's still gonna give me like, it's a good running watch. But what really sold me is that Jonathan tells me, babe, I only have to charge this once a week. I'm like, what in the heck? Because the Apple Watch literally doesn't even last 24 hours. They died like 12 hours in. So I was like, you know what? That sold me. And I have the Walmart Plus membership. And somehow, some way, that gets you like, what is it, $200 off of it or something?
Yeah, I've been contemplating getting this watch, guys, because full retail was $5.99.
Yeah.
So then I was like, nah, it's too expensive for something that I truly don't need, you know? Me la paso cargando mi Apple Watch, even though it dies right away. I'll just keep doing that. But then I looked it up one day on Google, and randomly it was $300 off. It makes you really wonder, like, how much do these little kids in China make it for?
Yeah.
You know? And how much are they selling it for? If they can discount it $300 randomly, so I got it for $299, like, how much does it really cost them to make it? Damn.
Yeah. So when he said that, I like looked into TikTok. I did my research. Jonathan did research on his Garmin watch for like 5 days straight.
Yeah.
And I did my research in 10 minutes. And I was like, this is the one I have. So I got the Garmin Vivo Active 5. It has almost all of the same features as Jonathan's, except it's touchscreen. It doesn't have that long of a battery life. His probably lasts 9 days, you said? And mine probably lasts like 5 to 6 days because it's touchscreen. And yeah, it's just so cute. But I think that I really wanted it just so I can start running again. I'm going to start running again. I think I'm really going to do the half marathon in September.
With me?
Yeah. Well, you're going to do the full marathon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to do the half marathon, guys. And I was just so motivated because when you are like in these events and people are crossing the finish line, I genuinely teared up because I'm like, that is such a, like, it's like how people say the best part of this is that you don't have to do it. But the fact that you choose to run for 13 or 26 miles, it's actually kind of insane. Like, you're crazy. So I want to be part of that crazy, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm motivated. I'm excited. I'm going to run it. I don't have like I'm going to run it. It's not that I'm going to, I want to get this sub whatever. Like, no, I just want to run it and finish it. And hopefully I don't die and pass out. But yeah, so that's why I got the watch. And also I'm gonna start working out again, so it's gonna track all my calories, and then I want to see how I sleep at night too with Belen, because like I feel like it will tell me when I wake up, right?
Yeah.
So I'll know exactly how long I'm awake for. So it's just all the good things. And plus, the plus side is that it's girly and cute, and I just feel aesthetic, and it's very lightweight.
When we say sleep score, let me read you what we mean.
Oh, yeah.
So basically you wear it all night, right? And because it has fantastic battery, I don't know if the Apple Watches, like at least the ones we had, ours were like 3 years old.
Yeah.
So maybe the new ones do this. I don't know. Like, don't come for us. We're talking about the old watches we used to have. But it gives you a sleep score. So like today I woke up, right? And the first thing I do is check my sleep score. And it gives you, like today, it was 71 out of 100. Quality is fair, duration 5 hours and 59 minutes. And then it gives you a little paragraph.
I forgot that
Your
we fell
sleep
asleep late.
was a bit short, but good that it was continuous. Sleep like this lets you cycle through all sleep stages and wake up more energetic and alert. And then it gives you the whole deep 1 hour and 40 minutes, REM 36 minutes, light 4 hours and 19 minutes, awake 4 minutes. And then it gives you a bunch of other stuff that I do not know what is. Average SpO2, like oxygen, your heart rate during your sleep. So this is cool, guys, because you see, your watch will tell you, if the day the Canelo fight, right, I wore my watch to sleep. I think I got 4 hours and something hours of sleep. And it said, you will feel very tired today, no energetic, foggy minded. And sure enough, because I drank and I slept late. So But yeah, I just want to leave you this, guys. We're not a freaking tech review channel, but the Garmin is a sports watch with smartwatch features, and an Apple Watch is a smartwatch with sport features. So choose your battles. I still get text. I can still play music.
You get notifications. I think that also it was an easy decision for us because we didn't use our Apple Watch like an Apple Watch. Like we didn't text on it. We didn't use it for calls. We literally only used it for like logging our workouts. So when Jonathan made the switch and then I made the switch, I was like, this is perfect because we don't even use our Apple Watch like it should be. So just like kind of see where you are at with that. And if you want to try a cutesy watch and not be basic like everyone. Just kidding. But yeah.
But yeah, at the beginning, the first day I got it, guys, it wasn't touch, right? It's just buttons. I wanted to return it right away. You go from having touch to buttons, it kind of is a turn off. But literally, like in 3 hours, I got over it because it's just so much quicker. Like you're crossing, especially if you're timing your miles and stuff like that, you just have to press a button to pause it. Whereas like when I would be with the Apple Watch and I'm like having to pause, my fingers would be sweaty, my wrist is sweaty, and I'm trying to like swipe left to pause my run and it doesn't, and I'm slowing down and yeah.
And then tell them why you were so pissed when you put it on for the first time.
What?
You're like, I knew this was gonna happen. I knew my tattoo was gonna get in the way of it.
Guys.
He legitimately got upset, like mad, and he was
because it's forever.
Yeah, but then I told him, I was like, babe, you know you can just wear it on your right hand. He's like, what? No, it's obvious that you have to wear it. And then I was like, it's literally not a rule. You can wear your watch wherever you want.
It's just like men have this rule that like any watch goes on your left hand, right? It's just like a guy thing, I guess. Unless you're like left-handed or whatever.
Yeah.
But so then I put I put my Garmin on right on my wrist the first day on my left side, and I noticed that right away it didn't give me a sleep score, or it wasn't giving me a heartbeat thing. So I was like, oh, this shit sucks. I won't even be able to figure it out. And then just for shits and giggles, I put it on my right side, and right away it started giving me my heartbeat, my heart rate or whatever. And I noticed, guys, that right where my watch goes, I have like the darkest part of my tattoo, just a black spot of ink. And sure enough, I googled it, and yes, tattoos do affect like watches because it's the darkness is the light for your like heart rate and stuff. So I literally ruined something for the rest of my life, which is crazy because I do plan on taking this serious. Like I do want to like start wearing it to swim, to get on the bike, to do an Ironman, to compete, you know, in running maybe in the future. So it's like my watch. But I was like, I looked at the positive. I was like, oh, it's just going to make my left hand like stronger, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
and did you see that Hayden has the same thing?
Really?
Yeah, he has his sleeve and then he wears his watch on his right hand.
Oh, so next time, fellas or ladies, that your man, maybe you guys are on the younger side and your man is thinking of getting tattoos, but you know he's also like, you know, into fitness, really, you know, like keep that into mind, because that really like, it was like so like depressing the first 5 minutes. I was like, no way, like the rest of my life I'm gonna have to wear my watch on my right hand.
Yeah, until I literally went online and I read to Jonathan, there's no rule on where to wear your watch. You just have to wear it on your less dominant hand. So I'm like, yeah, left-handed people wear it on their right. I was like, babe, it's literally fine. And then yeah, like 10 minutes later he got over it. But it was so like, it was silly to me that he was so upset over that. I'm like, girl, it's okay. At least you have a cool tattoo.
Can you give more financial advice, please? We love you guys. Also, more toxic stories. Do we have a quick little toxic story, babe? Just a little quickie.
Oh, I don't know. Like, I feel like as the years start going by, I start kind of forgetting everything that we've been through, except for like the major things, you know.
It's because we have so many, and some are like super serious.
Some are serious, but some are like genuinely, since we didn't see each other all week, we would argue every day. Yeah. Because we weren't together. We went to different schools. Like we had friends, you know, it was hard. I can't. Oh, you know what? Let's tell them this one. I think maybe I already said it once, but it reminded me of this TikTok that I just watched last night. It was like doing the "is it cheating" trend with my boyfriend, but except I say no to everything. Oh, sure. And so the girl was like, is it cheating if
I sleep on the same bed with another guy or something?
Oh, okay. That's insane. No, it was, she was like, is it cheating if another guy gives me a ride? And then the guy, her boyfriend, right away was like, yes, you're in a car with another guy. She's like, but I needed a ride. Like, what if my car breaks down or whatever?
So that story?
Yeah. And so, yeah, so that's why I was like thinking, because he's like, yeah, it's cheating. And then she's like, I don't think it's cheating, whatever. But she was pranking him or something. So I remember.
Yeah. Okay, let me start off with, because it was bad, but then I kind of like, no, I thought I was right, but then I kind of like realized. So, okay, Blanca used to do track, right, in high school. And one
it's funny
time,
that you knew exactly what I was
one
gonna
time there was this guy there, and like I knew they were friends, whatever, you know. And like honestly, not to be mean, but I didn't feel any threat from like her liking that guy. He just wasn't, you know. I'm not gonna be mean, whatever. But she's like, oh, I gave this guy a ride home, and as a guy, like,
from track practice.
From track practice. And as a guy, like, I'm not stupid, and guys aren't stupid. And it's like, and I told Julissa, I was like, babe, out of the whole track team, he asked you, like, just you. You're the only one with the car. I'm assuming he has guy friends at track. Like, why did you have to give him a ride? Like, guys are sneaky like that. Oh my God, se hacen los pobrecitos. Can you take me home? And then they probably take advantage to like talk to you more, or, you know. So then I was like, why did he have? And then, whatever, I made it a big deal and we got into a fight, but then later I find out that he lived in the trailer.
Yeah.
So
it's
I
not
was
only
like,
did
okay,
he
like,
live in the same trailer parks, he was my friend since literally elementary school.
Okay, girls can use that excuse, elementary, but as soon as you tell them that I have friends that are girls, oh, it's not the same.
Oh, because
So
your
give the
girlfriend
same
found
energy.
messages of your friends, your girlfriends, your
But
friends that are
anyways,
girls.
like-
But no, that was the thing. Like, I told him, I was like, first of all, I've known him for all my life, like all my school life. I know, like, era de necesidad. Like, it wasn't, you know, because we went to kind like
A rich school.
kind of a rich school vibes, and there was only white people. Like, I could never get my Hispanic friends to do track with me or any kind of sport with me. So nobody lived in Longmont. Everybody lived in Niwot. So he could, like, I was like, no one is going to go out of their way to drive him all the way to Longmont. But honestly, like, and I didn't even think about it. I was like, oh, of course I'll give you a ride home. Like, what? So yeah, like, and it was like, he had never shown interest in me. We had never been anything other than just friends. You know, he was like, whatever. So yeah, I told Jonathan, like, just as he, like, oh, hey babe, because we were like checking on each other. I was like, hey babe, I'm taking my friend home from track practice. Oh my God, girl, ni lo hubiera dicho, because it sparked a huge argument. We probably broke up.
But anyways, I jumped too fast on the trigger. Like, I got mad before I found out that he like lived in the same trailer park. And I've been there. Like, I've been in that position before where like you're just surrounded by white people. Like, when I would go take classes at CU and stuff, and I would be like, okay, I get it. Like, you guys were kind of like the only two Mexicans that
lived in
the trailer park, or like in that area. So like, who else would he get a ride from? So then I remember seeing the guy like later on. Like, I think I worked at a restaurant, and like we were cool. Like, nothing happened, but I was like, damn, yeah. Like, I guess, yeah. You just have to like know the whole story.
Well, yeah, and trust your girlfriend. Like, I always thought, I was like, if this was like kind of in a like bad intention vibes, I would have never told Jonathan, like, hey babe, I'm giving him, or like, I'd be like, I can't tell him because he's gonna get mad, like, this is too sketchy.
Oh, so you would have done it behind my back.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't you think that would have happened?
I feel like you didn't tell me. I feel like I asked you what you're doing, and you didn't lie. It's not like nothing, and then you were just like, you didn't tell me right away. You were just like, I was like, why is it taking you so long or something? And then you're
Did
like,
you see how toxic he was? Why did it take you so long to get
I was just
home?
like, oh, why are you like? I noticed something out of
Tu papá era un
the.
tóxico, Belén.
I just noticed something out of the usual. I was like, something, and then I asked you, you're like,
toxic boy.
oh yeah, it's because I took my friend home. It's not like you asked.
No,
which
I'm
is
pretty
fine.
sure
You
I
don't
told
have
you.
to. Like, I'm not.
No, yes,
I'm a girl
I did.
dad now. Like,
and
I
guys,
don't have
no,
to.
like, trust me when I say that, Jonathan. Like, I had to tell him every single thing I was doing, every single second.
No, it wasn't like that either.
Why are you smiling?
Because I don't remember.
No te acuerdas porque no
I
te
don't think
conviene.
but yeah, if you didn't have YouTube, what career/job would you be doing? I feel like we
answered this a long time.
Yeah.
A lot of times, don't you think?
I feel like we talk about constantly if YouTube were to end, but we've never really said what we would do.
Yeah. I think I would go back into the medical field. So Yeah, because I always think about like I would love to be a real estate agent, right? But realistically, no, I wouldn't. It's just it sounds cool, but it's too much work. I'm not a salesperson at all. I don't think. But yeah, I think I would go back into the women's medical field. I used to work at a private clinic for women, and it was just the best thing ever. So I would go back. That would.
I would probably be truck driving.
Yeah, probably. Get your own company started.
Yeah, I probably have my own company with my own little semi truck from saving, and that's probably it.
Yeah.
Regardless of what I would end up doing, I would just try my hardest to just have my own business, guys.
Yeah.
That's the only really way to escape the matrix, if that makes sense. But I'm sure there's people that have like dream jobs, and if you are like lucky enough to be working your dream job, then that's fine too, you know. You don't have to. I know a lot of people that are like, dude, I'm fine just clocking in. Like, I don't want the stress of being a business owner, which is fine too, you know.
Yeah. Or maybe I would just be a stay-at-home mom.
Not Belen, but did you guys record the podcast with your guys' mom? Guys, when I tell you that getting moms for a podcast is the hardest thing ever, it's very true. Because this last weekend, my mom she was the organizer de un retiro de mujeres. So, like, every weekend there's something to do, you know?
Yeah.
If it's not taking my brothers 4 hours away for a soccer tournament, she's doing that stuff like retiros for mujeres. And then Blanca's mom also is very busy on the weekends. She either, you know, that's the time she kind of like aprovecha para hacer muchas cosas.
She goes out, goes shopping, does all the things. So
it's like, damn, do we really want to take away the free time that they have or the busy time that they have for them to do a podcast? But we will one day. It's just, we need and the stars need to align for that podcast.
Yeah, but it will come. It will come.
How is the sister life treating you? Oh, that's too Belen. I was like, what? I think Franco is an amazing brother, guys. Therefore, Belen, like, I can already tell she's conscious of him.
Yeah.
You know?
He's so curious, but you know something that really amazes me about Franco is that he asks permission to do things. And I never realized it, but he'll like go and he's like about to touch her eye and he'll look at me, he's like, quiero tocar ojo, but like he talks in a question. Like he's not like quiero tocar el ojo, no, he's like quiero tocar ojo, you know, like in his little bingo voice. Or quiero tocar nariz, quiero tocar boca, and then we'll be like no se puede tocar la boca, no puedes tocar el ojo, le duele, and then he'll be like okay, you know. So yeah, he's like, the only thing is that he's a toddler and he's curious, so you have to be very careful with him because his hands move really fast. But other than that, he's an amazing brother. He loves her.
Yeah. He's great. And for her, we'll see who's like the more aggressive one.
We'll see, guys. When she's a toddler, a ver cómo le va Franco.
She gives me like sweetie pie girl vibes, like the type of girl that can't ask for ketchup at a restaurant vibes right now, because she's so cute and so like calm. But I know que me las va a hacer pagar por todo lo que he hecho en mi vida, so a lo mejor va a salir bien.
The worst saying is todo lo pagas con tus hijos. And I've always been like, how? But I'm like, it just, like, it makes sense, you know?
Well.
So good luck, Charlie, for being toxic boyfriend.
That's not going to be me. Because I'm going to raise my daughter with love.
Oh, mama girl.
Okay, what other... Babe, what are your thoughts on mommy makeover?
I am going to get my mommy a
surgery.
makeover tomorrow.
Will
honestly,
you? So just be straight up with them.
Yeah, guys, honestly, I've always said this. I'm going to try as hard as I possibly can. But if my loose skin just doesn't go in, or if I have a mom pouch that I just can't get rid of, I'm going to get my body done and you will know it. I will bring you along for the ride. But I don't have it like in the near future, especially because I do breastfeed for almost like 2 years. So yeah, I'll be the first to let you know. But like, thank God things like that are available because it makes mom so much more confident, I think. So
marriage advice. No, wait, not that one. When will you?
We don't have any.
When will it be your first trip and how are you guys prepping? I was just telling Blanca this, guys. I feel like a lot of our friends went on vacay recently and it did give me like a lot of like
FOMO?
ganas de ir, you know? Like Luis and me just went to Cancun with Penny. Pero Noche just went to Palm Springs, and it looks like they had a blast. Who else? Just like overall, like everyone's going out for summer. So I was like I can't wait for that to be us, like go to the beach or go do something at a resort with all the babies. But the time will come.
Yeah, we don't have anything in the plans yet. The only thing that we know for sure is like we're taking a Disney trip. We don't know exactly the date, but other than that, like we don't have anything yet. We'll probably just kind of pack up one day and go, without the plans. But yeah, hopefully we do. I want to take Franco to the beach again, and
that's another reason why we only want to have 2 kids now. Is that like people that have more than 2 guys? How do you do it? Like, because obviously, like we're thinking about on the plane, on the airport, at the airports through security. Yo con Franco and Blanca con Belen. Like it's common sense. Like. And then, especially if we take like family, then it's even more help. I can help, Blanca with Belen more because, she can't walk. And then my suegra or my aunts, my sister-in-laws or my brothers can, with Franco. So it's like more than 3 kids. Like if it's just you 2 and then the 3 kids, like how do you,
Yeah. But you know what I can imagine? Like if we took a huge family trip, it'd be so helpful. Because your brothers and my sisters are amazing with Franco. And then we have a bunch of hands to help with baby Belen. So we're for sure planning something. Well, we're for sure planning Disney, but hopefully a trip pops up here in the summer. In summer. I freaking love that song, guys. I don't know why.
As a parent who also had a son before a daughter, have you noticed the difference?
I just feel like she's so dainty and cute and sweet. Like, she's just like, I don't know, like... When they tell you that your heart literally grows and like multiplies in love, it's insane. Like she just feels like a part of me. And I look at her and I'm like, I literally want to cry just because I love her so much. But it's just a different, like, I know this, is this going to sound so weird? You guys are probably going to cancel me for this, but it literally like Franco just feels like blue and then she just feels like pink. Isn't that
what does that even mean?
I don't know. Like my feelings, like when I see Franco, I see blue and it's like a boy. Like I don't know. And when I see her, it's like pink and dainty and bright and flowers and.
That was such a Pinterest answer.
I know, but that's literally how it feels. Sorry,
no, I
if I'm
get you.
Cliche, but
for me, I'm kind of. I don't know if it's the fact that she's our second or the fact that she's a girl that I'm like,
Yeah.
Like when she cries, it doesn't upset me, or when she's crying in the car seat, or like I'm like more like you would think that maybe from like an outsider's perspective it looks like, oh, he's being so extra sweet because it's a girl, or is it because she's my second? Like if I had a second boy, I would probably be more lenient, more chill because I just know more. Does that make sense? Whereas people can perceive it as like, it's daddy's girl, he loves her more. No, it's just because it's easier. I know that this isn't gonna harm her, so I can be more like more hands-on, more, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're more confident too in your parenting skills. Yeah. I don't know. It definitely is different though. But I also don't know what it would be like to have another boy. I don't know, girl.
How's your relationship now versus before kids? Oh my God. Dun, dun, dun.
What? Answer.
No, I was honestly thinking this other day, I was like, Franco, kids have been the best thing that could have happened to me. I was actually talking to my soccer team, my indoor soccer team. We went to eat the other day on Wednesday because it was our last game of the season. And so we went to eat, we went to go eat wings, and they were telling me like, how does it feel? You have 2 kids and you're not even 26, blah, blah, blah. They were kind of like expecting me to be like, it sucks. And I was like, dude, honestly, the best thing that it could have ever happened to me, like Franco kick-started my whole health journey. Like how like overweight I was, how sad, how like unbalanced my hormones were, et cetera, et cetera. And then he kind of like kickstarted me into this whole like different lifestyle. And now Belen is like that even extra. Like Franco encouraged me to lose weight. Belen is encouraging me to run marathons and do Ironmans one day. Like that's how drastic my life has changed. Like to be honest with you guys, I don't think I would have ever changed my life or my lifestyle if I hadn't had kids.
So how does that play in with marriage?
Oh, so I'm saying that like it's made everything better because although like what I'm trying to say is that although without kids, let's go before we had kids, right? We wouldn't kids like our kids nowadays, they do make us bicker, you know?
Yeah.
Whether it's be like our differences in how we're raising them, or Franco does something and it ticks me off, but it doesn't tick you off, or I tell you to do something certain with the girls. Like, obviously, yes, all those arguments wouldn't be there if we didn't have kids, right? But I would be overweight, drastically overweight, like not happy with myself, and we would be arguing regardless, and I would just be in a much worse state. Does that make sense?
Because you would, yeah.
I don't know if I'm just yapping, but I'm having a yap session over here. But like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I feel like our arguments now are like
soft.
They're just like, if we were gonna argue regardless, I'm at least arguing not overweight and like with my facial hair all messed. Like, does that make sense, guys?
Yeah, I just feel like kids change your life for the better in the sense that you want to be the best version of yourself for them. And in that, like, it comes hand in hand, because you being the best version of yourself not only makes you a better parent, but a better partner.
Yes.
You know? So I think that's what you're trying to get at, honey bunch.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, the question you guys have all been waiting for, and it's honestly something we've been wanting to talk to you guys about. And if you're a true listener, you've heard us on J&J and Spill the Beans kind of drop hints here and there. It's like, exciting news coming. We can't wait to tell you guys. Or
we were in a meeting.
Or Jonathan just got back from a meeting. And all the secretiveness has come to this moment, guys. Are y'all thinking of buying a house? How's that process going? Love Spill the Beans.
And you know what's crazy is that I know, like, we keep a lot of our life private in the sense that we try to not talk about everything that we're doing or everything that we do in our day-to-day life. And we could honestly just keep this a secret and like just talk about it when we actually like purchase our home. But we decided to just talk about it because a lot of things are changing in the next month. So first of all, should I just tell them?
Yeah, babe, go for it.
Oh man, guys. Back in, when was it? February?
January.
In January? Back in January, we bought a house. Is that, like, do you say that? Technically, well, we did everything. Like, we didn't close yet. Like, our closing date was in June. So this is what happened. We started looking. We were working with Jonathan's mom, Lisa. She is an amazing realtor, by the way. And she just like put us on the right path, you know, like we were talking to like the bankers, everything, like everything was just going smooth, right? We were finding houses here and there. We found an amazing house and we were gonna put an offer, and then it ended up being sold. Like, there was just a bunch of things, right? And then one day there's like this new neighborhood being built, and there were like a lot of things that we kind of overlooked at that moment because we were so excited to like buy a house. And so we ended up looking at a lot. Well, Jonathan ended up looking at a lot. This beautiful lot with this beautiful view and just this amazing house. And Jonathan said, you know what, babe, like, this is the one. I'm like, okay. So Jonathan went and I toured the model home type vibe, and we loved it. Jonathan goes, he signs papers, he does all the things, and then he puts in our earnest money. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, like the deposit.
He puts in the deposit for them to start building our house. Right. And I remember we took my mom and we grabbed tierra from the house. We took it to La Virgencita. We're like, if this is our home, like, please bless it. Please let everything go smoothly. Jonathan would go every single day to see the progress. Like, he went when they were breaking the ground and then when they put the basement in, and like, he was so excited, right? It was a really exciting moment. And then I think like slowly, we started realizing that our whole life is literally in here, like in the town where we have our office, and Jonathan's at the office every single day. He has to come into, like, there's no way that he can't come here.
So that house was going to be where we live right now, guys.
Yeah.
Like, away from the office and our main town.
Yeah. So there was just like, we overlooked all of this because we were so excited, and we just started seeing that every day it was like a 20 to 25 minute commute to our work, to Target, to our grocery store, like to everything that we like here in this town. So we already say it, right? What? Where we live?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. So yeah, guys, we basically ended up like sitting down and we were talking about everything. And
That's one of the reasons. Remember that?
yeah, one of the main reasons is that we're like, we are making a commitment of probably 10 years, because we know that our first house isn't our forever home, right? But it's gonna be like where the kids go to school and where they turn 10 or 5, whatever. So I told Jonathan, I remember telling you like, babe, I can't commit to this because I can't commit to this 25 that will probably turn into like a 30-minute drive in the near future because of all the traffic. I can't commit to that for another 5 years. Like, I was already getting super tired of it where we live now. And yeah, do you want to tell
Guys,
me?
so Blanca does this thing, right? I love my wife to death and to pieces, but Blanca will say yes to something. And then whether it be vibing, right? A shirt design, a shirt color, whether it be anything else, but she'll say yes to me right away. And then depending on the time frame, right before something's due, right before something's going to drop, she changes her mind. Because it like, I admire her for that, because it doesn't sit right with her. She won't release something she doesn't 100% love. She won't move into a house she doesn't 100% love. So the thing with me, guys, haz de cuenta, like, let me try to give you guys an example. I know the majority of you guys are from like Cali or Texas, but let's just use Texas, for example. And let's just say, I know 30 minutes, what is like Fort Worth and Dallas, or like Arlington and Dallas. Like, let's just say they were building like your dream, not dream home, but for me, guys, a view, especially of the mountains, matters so much to me. I am such a like, views and like nature cure like my anxiety, my depression. I just love it, right? So this house wasn't going to have neighbors on 3 sides, right? So the left side was a dog park. The yard, the behind was open space. The front was, it was in a cul-de-sac, so like no one close. And then just a neighbor on the right side. And then the backyard, let me picture you, like you're making a little carnita asada and you just have the Colorado mountains big, like there, while you're just grilling. And then on the front side, and the master, because the master was going to be in the front, on the windows, since it's on a hill, you can see all the lights at night of like the Longmont and Firestone of the city, basically. So imagine late at night, I'm like rocking Belen on a chair. I open my window and you're just like on this hill and you just see all these like little flashes of lights, because you're like, I don't know, like cool vibes. Like if you were like in an apartment, because you're like up in a hill. So front views was city views, and then back was like mountains, if that makes sense. So location wise, like view wise, for me, I was attached to this property. I would go every day and I would literally, guys, stand where the like the measurements were, because I used to do construction. So I kind of like had an idea where everything would be. And I'd be like, babe, this where I'm standing right now is where the grill will go. And I would be like, look how amazing this feels, right? And then I would hype her up. But deep down, I knew Blanca was gonna pull cold feet last minute, because it's like, yeah, like I said, like it's like your dream home is in, or like the place is in Arlington, and you have to drive every single day, not just once there and back, multiple times back and forth, because either we pick up the girls from school, work, doctor's appointments, now with a newborn, more doctor's appointments, work, our vibing,
nail appointments
to Dallas every single day.
And for a lot of people, this is doable, and they're like, yeah, like it's my work, whatever. But for me,
hasta el mugre dog groomers está en Longmont, you know?
Everything was in Longmont. Our whole life is there. And I was like, like living in the house we're living right now, we're renting it. So I was calm, because I was like, it's not my home. Like, I don't have to stay here. If I wanted to move tomorrow, I could, like whatever. And when we started like getting into the nitty gritty of things, and like, no, yeah, like our closing day is coming, like we start getting emails, like they poured the concrete and we went to see the basement and it was beautiful. We took pictures, like it was a vibe. It like started settling in, and I was like, am I truly going to be happy in this house? Like I think another thing is that when Jonathan comes to the office, or Jonathan comes to run an errand, I'm always here like, damn, like there goes our whole day. Like he's going to be gone for the whole day. I'm not going to see him till like 4 p.m. And it's the same thing. Like if he wants to come get boba with Franco, if he wants to take Franco to Petco, it's his favorite store. It's like that whole long haul. And then another thing is that Belen is starting to hate her car seat. So she's starting to scream, cry, and throw up in the car seat. So I'm like, those like 20 minutes could be saved and just like make them a 9-minute drive, a 7-minute drive. Or yeah,
20
those
minutes.
20 minutes on a Sunday when there's no one in the streets. So that started getting really, really in. So for me, because you guys know that I'm like more of the like vibes and like surface level stuff, like that. Like I don't have a quick commute to Target or to my nail appointments. But then Jonathan comes in with the logistics, the numbers, the back end of it, and so then things started getting a little hard on that side of the stick too. Stick. The house buying process. You know what I meant, babe.
So like this is where we make a perfect team, because Blanca, like, no matter what something costs, or like, as long as she doesn't know the numbers and she likes the place, you would buy it, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas I was like, nothing will ever make me like not want to live here. I'm willing to do the commute. I love the house. I love the location. But your boy over here, I'm not codo or anything like that. But when the numbers don't make sense, or como que la gente, and by gente, I mean the economy, se quiere aprovechar, that turns me off. So when I found out, guys, and this is going to be a little bit like embarrassing, but I believe like it's like we should talk about it, just because like no one's perfect, right? And no one had ever taught us. So when we got into the home buying process, guys, do you remember the word I found out, babe, what it meant? The long word about interest?
Oh no, but that shit was
so guys,
crazy.
Okay. Take in mind, no one has ever, my mom's a real estate, but we had never, talked about buying a house and stuff like that. So when someone would say, oh, interest is so high right now in houses, oh, it's in the 7%, blah, 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 compared to like 2 or 3 during COVID times, I would be like, let's say that house was going to be worth $600,000 or whatever. I would do 7% of 600,000, which comes out to be like $14,000, right? And I was like, just $14,000 in interest. Like, I don't know why people make such a big fuss compared to like, then you do like 2% of 600,000 and it's like 8. And I was like, like $7,000 difference. It's not like that. We got it like that. But I was like, I don't know why people make it such like the end of the world, right? We didn't know how interest with houses worked. But it's one of those things where like, yes, I was doing that math, but like deep down in my heart, I knew something was wrong. Like I knew it wasn't this simple. I knew banks didn't just build houses to make $14,000. Like I knew, but it's one of those things where like, si no preguntas, no te duele. Like,
Si no preguntas, no te dicen.
Yeah.
Because most people think like you're buying a house, you know what you're getting yourself into.
So then I stumbled one time upon a reel or a TikTok, and the TikTok quickly said, if you buy a $600,000 house right now in today's economy, the interest is $800,000 alone, just in interest. So your house goes from being $600,000 to $1.4 million total of like what you owe, right? And I heard that really quick on the TikTok, and I like went back. And I was like, babe, I just saw this TikTok. Like, what do you think? Like, this makes sense, because that's why not people are buying houses, So then I started doing research, and we came across the word. It starts with an A.
I have no idea.
It basically means that like the way you finance a house is very different than when you just buy like a Snickers bar, right? The percent on the total amount. It's like per year and all that. If you guys know the word, please comment down below. It's like on the tip of my tongue. But basically, we didn't know that like that 7 to 3% back in COVID is like, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars of interest, guys. So when we found that out, oh my God, it gave me like
the biggest ick.
I was like, I ain't buying a freaking house in this economy. No wonder people are like not buying houses, are so upset, blah, blah, blah. And no wonder people are so, like my compadre would tell me, oh yeah, I got like a 2.9% on our house. And I'd be like, okay, Mr. Hot Shot, like, what does that mean, But now when I found out, I was like, Luis, you got a 2.9. And the best, like, the loan officers could offer us was like a 7.725 with good credit and stuff like that. I was like, babe, let's just keep saving, keep more down, like, what's that called?
Down payment.
And more. One day when the interest rates go back down, we'll jump on something, So those two things.
I remember when Jonathan told me that, because I'm not like, I think the way that I saw the house, right? And like when I think about it also, it's like a new build. what is it, a new build neighborhood. So all like there's just floor plans, you know, like it's not like you get to go and choose the color of the cabinets, the color of the floors, nothing. So in my dream, like when you're building a house, I would want to choose all of that, right? So it wasn't even like we didn't get to choose anything. Like it was just the standard floor plan. And so then I looked at the house, and then I looked at it when Jonathan said, babe, our house is most likely going to be worth $1.4 million. And like, it's all going to go into interest rate. So I remember telling Jonathan, I was like, that house is not worth that much money. Like if that's how much money it's going to cost me, I would much rather wait one more year and buy in Longmont, because right now the houses in Longmont, they're old, they're ugly, and they would basically need a lot of work. So if we buy a house, like it would have to be a fixer upper, like we would have to remodel it. So I told Jonathan, I was like, you know what, babe? Like I sat him down and I was like, I know that you love the view. I know all of this, but I was like, just take into consideration the commute, our life in Longmont. Like we already wanted to go back anyways. Like the only reason we were going to stay in Frederick Firestone is because we were going to buy there. Like that was the only thing, because we were going to have a house under our name. And I also started thinking about it. I'm like, and then another thing is that we just feel pressure from putting our life on social media, and everyone always commenting like, when are you going to buy a house? Oh, you have all this money, why don't you buy a house? Oh, you do this, why don't you buy a house? And I'm like, since when? Like, when did it get that way? Like, why does anybody care what you do with your housing situation? I would never sit here and like tell my friend, oh, you're renting, why don't you buy a house? Buying a house is so much, like I would never do that. So I'm like, if I'm letting random strangers on the internet tell me why I'm not buying a house or why I'm still renting, I'm like, that's literally when it clicked to me. I'm like, that is so stupid. Like that is literally delusional of me to ever let that affect me. So I was like, if we're gonna wait one more year and we're gonna get a house in Longmont and that we're gonna have to remodel, I do not care. We are not buying it.
I found it, babe.
What is it called?
So March 4th, I was like, silly question, but how is interest on a mortgage calculated? I think I'm doing the math way too simple, and it's actually way more. Just found out what amortization is. Not too happy anymore. I sent my mom. She's like, ha, 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 ha. Welcome to adulthood. And then I send her, I'm shocked. And then she's like, yep, that's why it's more important to bring as much down payment as we possibly can. Send more to the principal every month, etc.
Yeah, guys. So that was a nick for Jonathan and a huge turnoff for me. I was like, this house is not worth that much money, and it's not worth me stressing every month. Like, oh, babe, remember to send an extra payment. Oh, babe, remember to do this. Oh, remember to. But you like, there was no way. And Jonathan got the ick, and I got turned off. I was like, we don't want this house anymore. And it was sad. Like, I think it was the saddest thing having, like, when we had to tell his mom, like, no, like, pull out of the offer.
Yeah, it was sad, guys, because you can see the house from the highway just because it's on like a hill, and like I was really sad. But then I was like, you know what, God, yo nunca he dudado, like God's like, that's what kind of like helps me a lot with my anxiety. I was like, okay, God has a plan. But sometimes I was like, oh God, why do you let it come so close to something and then like you take it away? I know something better is coming, but I was like, damn, like that was so close, you know? Like we backed out a few days ago, like 2 weeks ago, and the move-in date was like at the end of June. So
yeah, it was really sad, guys. But I always think about it. I'm like, babe, we've always talked about how we would never buy in Firestone. And we were just going to do it because, oh, it has a good view. Oh, because we're going to finally buy a house. And like, who gives an F? Like, who cares? Like, let's just do one more year of renting. It's fine. Like, we're going to be fine. I was like, we are 25 years old. Why do we have to buy a house right now? Just because people on the internet are like, oh, you don't have a house. You're like, I don't care, girl. And I like the thrill of moving is so cool to me. So I'm like, when we buy a house, I wanted to never have the itch to move somewhere else. Or I don't want to ever wake up and be like, oh, I just wish I lived in Longmont. Like, this would be so perfect if we lived in Longmont, you know? Yeah. And one thing that really like sealed the deal for me was when I was talking to my suegro Martin, and he told me one day, he's like, yeah, like honestly, the way I look at it, we only come home to sleep. Our whole life is in Longmont. We're out there for school, the kids' sports, my work, like everything. And he's like, we just come here to sleep. We don't even enjoy our beautiful house that we have here. And that just clicked to me. I was like, he's absolutely right. Like, I don't want to just come home and sleep. Like, I want to be able to be a 7-minute drive from everywhere, you know? So yeah, a lot of things happened. We got cold feet. We backed out of the offer, and we no longer have a house this year, guys.
But it's fine, guys. We trust God's plan. And yeah, like that's why, like I feel like he saved me and us from like a lot of explaining unnecessary, because as soon as we put the deposit down, I was like, oh babe, like imagine all the fun content we're gonna be able to do. Like first of all, like showing the house, like just the terreno, and then the wood, like the when the wood's up, like the tour, and then when it's empty, and then when it's furnished. Like there's gonna be so much content from buying a house. And I even talked to our loan officer. I was like, before we may announce anything, like is there anything that could go wrong? And he's like, not really. I mean, you guys are pretty much set, unless you like go and buy a brand new car and your credit drops by like 80 points. There's really nothing that like that could make this go away, you know?
Yeah.
So then I was like, but we never got around to making those videos. And now I know why, you know, because then we would have been like, people would have been like, oh, sure, you couldn't. And something dumb, like you couldn't afford it or something, you know?
Yeah, I also think it's just a blessing in disguise too, because just like having kids made us become better versions of ourselves. Getting into the home buying process made us become so financially aware. Mm-hmm. It's insane. And like our credit has never been this great, you know?
Or our savings, like our saving skills.
Yeah, our saving skills are insane.
For the past 6 months, we were like really saving, and we had a technique and we made a plan. So now it's like, oh, we have all this money sitting there for no house. It's a nice emergency fund or something.
It's a nice cushion, and then it'll be a nice down payment when the time comes to buy a house. So for another year, guys, should we just announce it here? For the true people that watch the podcast and stay the whole time?
Yeah.
Guys, we are moving. We're moving back. And I am so excited to be back in Longmont. Like, you guys have no idea. Like, Jonathan always says the moving process sucks and it's the worst, but I'm not even scared. Like, I'm like, let's do it. I'm ready for all the stress because we are going to be back in Longmont, and I could not ask for anything better. So, God bless. At least you guys are going to have moving content coming soon, girl. And also stay tuned, because if you live in Colorado, we will be having a moving garage sale. Just saying.
And everyone is invited.
Everyone's invited, and we're going to make lonas, maybe. I don't know. I'll ask my mom. But yeah, guys, so basically that is that. We don't have a house yet. We will have one soon, God's plan. And in Longmont, I am not moving out of Longmont. Like, for all the shit I've ever talked, I take it all back. I love it here.
Yeah, like the other day I woke up super early on Saturday to take Franco to the farmer's market, and like passing through the streets at like 8 a.m, like the smell, and I was like, Longmont might be like ghetto sometimes, and in some places, but I love it. Like, I miss our little town.
I love it here.
So I was like,
yeah. So I mean, we're gonna miss Firestone, honestly. Firestone, I give it that. It's very calm. It feels very safe. It's a vibe. But
nos gusta la mala vida.
Nos gusta la mala vida acá en Longmont.
Nos gusta nuestro toxic.
Yeah, it's not like Longmont isn't that bad.
No.
But yeah. Anyways, guys, if you stayed this long, you got all the tea. We bought a house. We got cold feet, and we're moving. And you guys will see, we literally signed our new lease agreement last night, and we're going to put our deposit probably today. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to start moving, packing it up. And June 1st, we get the keys. Yeah, so tune in. And we have to go because the camera's dying. So thank you guys so much for watching this podcast. We will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Later.
Yay Networks.